Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Sunday, the 9th of July. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Just when the bookies thought it was safe to go to sleep on a Saturday night, I'm lurking in the shadows for one last go this week. Let's see what we've got. £15 is what we are going to invest. £15, two lucky 15s, combination double and a win Trixie, and we are having a little dabble all over the place. We are going to all four kind of obvious meetings in the sense of Market, Rasen, Ayr, Chelmsford and Sligo, and I'm having a little look at Deauville as well over in France. So bookies, beware, we are going to do some late night moving of the markets whilst you're sleeping. We'll try and find that value. All right, before we get to that and the £15 4-bet staking plan, we'll go through the monster of mammoothness that was Saturday, which it's felt like this all week. Been hitting bits and bobs, and some bets have been good and some have been bad, but overall it sort of felt interesting without hitting anything big and without losing any great deal of money. And the channel was overall about £2 down, I think, with 40 on, £38.09, something like that. But anyone betting with a bog bookmaker or even on SP actually could well have come out a bit better. So some would have made a profit, and one person definitely did through a very understanding error, which I'll get to. So we started off here. This wasn't great. I mean, I think, what did I say? 30 horses, 6 of them were non-runners, so 20% we lost. Considering that to come out even, I think was all right. So no, the jockey took that on the wrong side of the track and it didn't go well. And then we had 225, got them both placed, which was lovely, but then nothing to go with it because that was poor and that was a non-runner. So 2 places with non-runner basically in that one. But yeah, it was not nice to hit a place for both of them, but not with it. This was the one that paid a bit, and if you're Steve, you did very well because Bulldog Spirit placed 40 to 1 was, no, 33s was the SP, 40s was available, but 33s was the SP. Peripatetic was the poor one, but if you're Steve and you put Popatronic instead of Peripatetic, you can see how that happened, then you're on to a winner because you had a place with a 12 to 1 winner going onto this one, and we had Scampy place, 20s on the channel with a rule 4 of 30 pence, which took it to 14 as the SP was 12, so not much difference. But Arisque, that price plummeted before I did the video this morning, and then it went back out again, so it's 20s. So if you're on SPs, 20s, 12s and 33s would have been a nice place treble. And if you imagine you chuck a 12 to 1 winner in there, well done, Steve. Those are the types of errors that are absolutely delightful, so well done. So bet 2 was a profitable one. For anyone anyway. Then yeah, frustratingly hit it again. Got well backed in. Wootton Sun won the big race. We were on one of the right horses, but didn't have it with anything else at all in that bet. So they all got done completely. All right, this worked out quite nicely. So Bulldog Spirit 28s placed, 33s SP, as I said, 40s you could have got. If you got 40s, that bet would have looked quite nice. So no place, winner, non-runner. So we had the place there with basically in essence 2 places and a non-runner. So it was a nice profitable bet that. And yeah, if you'd got the 40s on that at some point, that would have been really nice. So that one paid out. And then we got into the evening session. It was rubbish. So that was a non-runner. That was a non-runner. I put another one in. It was a non-runner. I said to put in Macaroni in the 8 o'clock, and that was no good. Code Breaker placed at the measly price of 7 to 2, and then that was it. That 7-12 absolutely stuffed us. I like those 2. I really did, and yeah, just no good. So not much back on that one. No good, non-runner, no good, so that wasn't really much back there. And the Bellewstown, so many non-runners at Bellewstown, so non-runner place, no good, so a couple of quid back off that. And then the final one, but yeah, struck out, knout in that one. So yeah, we went in at the halfway stage, or the halfway through the day, not far off break even, and then literally scraped a couple of quid back in the night time, and that was it. So we march into Sunday 5p down on channel statistics. So I think some of you may well be up for the week, but 5p down. We're about 19 down for the month, I think it is. So yeah, just about a day's stake behind, and still in a reasonable enough place for the year. Okay, so let's go through the Sunday plan. So I've got 6 races, 2 of which I've doubled up on. But what I would flag is that the 2, I would say, the most obvious races, so the first places I was going to go and look, I didn't like the read of it. So the 2 o'clock Sligo is a really good each way race. So you've got 2 shorties at the front, and then it's anyone's game for third. The problem is it's anyone's game for third, and I think there was about 11 runners. And I really couldn't have an edge in that race. So from a betting perspective, it's a really good betting race for those of you who play, want to start off by doing like plus EV, that kind of stuff. So that's expected value, i.e. you've got some great value in the place market in that race because you've got 2 shortens and pushing everything else out. But I just couldn't call that off what I thought could be third best in that race. So I left it. And then the 4:20 Sligo, it's the only bigger field handicap, and a lot of bookies are paying 5. It's a good betting structure as well. There's I think you've got like 2-1, 7-2, and then it's 7-1, and then you get about 5th or 6th favourite, and you're already in double figures. It's quite a nice betting structure, but didn't have a read at all on it, not even for a short one. So yeah, I just didn't see anything in there that I felt was kind of obvious value. So although I'd say that's the best race to have a bet on, I didn't like it. So they're the races I didn't like. So yeah, as I've said often on here, I could, I don't just pick what I think are what I know are mathematically the better races to have, and where there is some level of edge in there. I'm combining that knowledge with the knowledge of actually spending a very large amount of time going through form, history, pedigree on some occasions, watching back videos. So yeah, here's what I've come up with, and I would say it's not a sky day for my bets. So for my bets, you don't need a Sky Bet account at all for Sunday. So we've got here, starting off, this is the main lucky for the day, the 3:20 Chelmsford, Sir Oliver 20s, 4:30 Chelmsford, Munderhill 12s, 4:55 Sligo, Mr. Twist at 12s, and the 5:25 Air Royal Countess 16s. It's a 20p each way lucky 15. Nice and straightforward. The vast majority of bookies are 4 on every one of those races. So you want Coral, Paddy, 365, Betfred, someone that will give you best price guaranteed, basically. But there isn't really, they'll just have a little watch out, but you want to make sure your bookie's paying 4 places on all of them, which the vast majority of the big ones are. So yeah, nice and straightforward, 20p each way, lucky 15, £6 is our bet. And then we've got 2 of the same races, so different horses, and then 2 different horses, very much less obvious. So bet 2, 3:20 Chelmsford, we've got Chola Empire 10s. Then 4:15, we've backed it many times, Tilsit at 14s. The watch out here is, at the moment, Sky, like most bookmakers, are standard terms, 7-runner race, they're paying the first 2. You've only got 365, Coral and Unibet that are paying third place. If you went with those, you'd only get 12-1, whereas if you're betting on a 2-place market, at the time making this video, 14s. So what I'd say is, if I was choosing a bookmaker to put the bet on with, if I was doing it as a multiples bet like this, I'd go 365 Coral or Unibet, because the third place is potentially more important than anything else. If you're just betting it single, then in that case, then I would get the 14-1 2 places that you can get with other bookmakers, because that's a much better bet. So that's that. Then 4:48, I've snuck one in from Deauville, so over in France. Had a little look. I've got one in the Wind Tricks, and I've got one here, Sea of Ash. There's no extra places in there. There's nothing special about the kind of the betting structure. I've looked through that race, and I just think that it's actually a very open race, and Sea of Ash probably should be more like 13-2. So I think there's a decent amount of value in there at 11s. And then the last leg, 4.55 Sligo, the other one I've got in that race, north of Nashville 33. Flag on that one, Sky and Bet Victor are standout at the moment, 33s. 28s in a lot of places and 25s in a few. So I'm conscious this one is a slight Sky standout price on that. 365 Coral are best bookies for the bet. Unibet third best, because those are the ones that are paying the third place there. Outside of that, it's the same place terms pretty much everywhere. So 15p each way, lucky 15, and we're going to put a 25p each way single on north of Nashville because it's the biggest price I've got for Sunday. And then most of you would have worked out that this bet was coming. So bet free. They're my two preferred races, both playing 4 places with most bookmakers, but Sky are standout prices on this one, which is very unusual to be fair, at this time of day. 320 Chelmsford, Sir Oliver at 20s and Trollet Empire at 10s, 455 Mr Twist at 12s and north of Nashville 33s, 4 times 25p each way doubles, £2 you bet. So Coral, Paddy, 365 Betfred, a bookie paying bog on multiples. As I've said on numerous occasions, personally, I would go for the way I do my bets. I'm not advising this with people generally, but the way I do my bets, I will happily take extra places over bog every day. Because the way, and most people get this, I calculate stuff, is I calculate on the existing price at the time of taking it. And in the vast majority of cases, the prices of the horses, Saturday's a bit different, but the prices of the horses I take, way more of them will shorten up than do anything else. So I factor that in. All right, last bet 4, Win Trixie. This is a decent price one for Sunday. 325 Deauville. Sorry, I've gone a bit scrawly on that one. Ritornelli, or I think Ritornelli we'll go with, 5-2. Then 440, the only horse I've got a market Rasen. I think that there's a bit of value in Captain Tomcat. It's come in, I think, from looking at the markets. I'd still say that horse should be about 2-1. So we're not talking massive value, but from a Win Trixie point of view, when in a win point, I'm looking at less threshold. So whereas I'm other types in an each way bet, I might look at 4 or 5 points as a threshold. Here, 2-1. Is probably what that horse should be. So I think Freeze is good. And then the 450 Air Radana 7-1. That one I think should be more like 4s. Bog bookie is what you want. At the time of making this video, so if you're literally putting these on after upload, go put it on with 365 because you can get 7-2 and 8-1 there, standout prices with 365. But it's a 50p Win Trixie, so win doubles and trebles. So if the first 2 go down, we've got nothing going on Radana. If you want to put a single on that, it's not a bad bet at all. So bog bookie, £2. So that is our £15 stake. As we are 5 pence down, we need £15 and 6 pence back to make a profit for the week. That's the target. Otherwise, we will come away with a loss week, despite having lots of what I would call endeavour in terms of chances. Statistically, we are not owed. We are definitely in the due mark, I would say. Although we've not been losing much in the last few weeks, it feels like we're a bit away now from the last decent win. So we're not owed. We could wait a really long time, but just because statistically I'm saying to you we're due, in terms of how I know it goes on for me, in terms of how basically it plays out, it feels definitely to me like we're due from a stats point of view. We will see though, because we could go on some terrible run. Who knows? But we're only a few weeks away from Galway Goodwood. But yeah, I think that is it. Golf, I'll mention on the golf. If you're on the golf, Darren Fitchart, he's the man in the daytime tomorrow to see if he can come out top South African. He's the only one left of our side bet, and nothing else has gone well in that Maiden Himmerland. And then over in the John Deere Classic, Adam Schenk is finished one shot off the lead. So he's going into the last day with chances. So we'll see. It was only a short price. It was only 28. So it was the shortest price of all the outright market. But if we can get a win, I'd be absolutely delighted with that. because it's tough going on the golf. You haven't got the margin that you have on horses. But yeah, I felt like it was good this week. But yeah, it's not quite worked out across the board. But if we could get, well, both of those would make my weekend, to be fair. But one of them just getting across the line would be all right. So next week, what am I doing? I'm back. I think it's normal. I think it's normal week. I think we're on a normal week. But yeah, we're not far from Galway Goodwood. I think it's the end of July, first week of August. We've got to get there. I'm going to definitely try and get more sleep this week. I was up. I spent too much time researching stuff this week. Far too much time. And Mrs. FC was away last week as well. And when she's away, I never ever go to bed early. She's like my barometer of makes me. Well, she doesn't make me feel bad. I feel bad if I don't go to bed, and if she's gone to bed like hours before me. So she doesn't. Just to be clear, she doesn't make me feel bad. I feel bad about the fact that she. Yeah. So. Mrs. FT is back today, so I shall, not be staying up super late and get back on the wagon of sleeping, because definitely feeling sleep deprived. And I would very much like to finish the weekend on a win, but we all see. All right. Thank you for all the ongoing support, as always. Very much appreciated. I know there's quite a few comments I haven't gone back to, which I need to, but I do really appreciate the likes and the subscribers. And the people who comment, and to be fair, even the odd folk that dislike the video. I mean, I said to you guys before, literally, I've got somebody who dislikes within a second of it uploading. They now do it 2 times. They now dislike it twice on 2 different accounts, like within an instant of the video uploading. Amazing. Subscribe to dislike. I've got no understanding about really what goes on with these algorithms. It's all a bit dark arts to me, but I think for anyone who's ever watched wrestling, right, they always say like the best wrestlers are the ones that get cheered and booed in equal measure. So I'll take it. So I know the vast majority of people appreciate what goes on in here, and equally know I'm not going to be doing it forever. This definitely has a lifespan on it, I think the thing I would say is, getting near towards summer holidays, so I'm very much likely to probably mix up the schedule a little bit and have a slightly lighter schedule for summer holidays, certainly on a couple of weeks. I shall keep you informed when we get a little bit nearer. But at the moment, just about managing to keep 5 videos out a week. When it's a week when they're really busy days, that takes its toll. All right, thank you very much. I'm stop waffling. Enjoy your Sunday. I'll be back Tuesday night for the start of next week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.